There are moments when you know, without proof, without reasoning, without a clear explanation. You simply know. And almost immediately, doubt appears. You analyze, you justify, you silence that quiet knowing. This video begins right there, in that fragile space where something within you speaks, and where, over time, you have learned not to listen. In a world saturated with noise, opinions, notifications, and mental urgency, intuition has become discreet. Not because it is weak, but because it never forces itself. It does not shout. It does not impose. It whispers. It waits. It respects your rhythm and your free will. Intuition is not a mystical belief reserved for a chosen few. It is a natural intelligence present in everyone, but often covered over by excessive logic, the fear of being wrong, and social conditioning. We have been taught to trust what can be proven, measured, and explained, rarely what can simply be felt. Intuition acts before words. It comes before structured thought. It perceives subtle information that the conscious mind has not yet processed. Micro details in a glance, an inconsistency in a situation, an invisible resonance between a choice and your inner state. That is why it can seem illogical. It does not follow linear reasoning. It synthesizes instantly what the mind might take hours to analyze. And when you ignore it, it is not because it was wrong, but because you have learned to doubt it faster than you doubt your fears. The first major sign that your intuition is trying to speak to you is this calm certainty that arises without argument. You meet someone, and without any apparent reason, something inside you tightens or closes, or, on the contrary, you feel immediate trust, a strange sense of familiarity. You consider a life path, a project, a decision, and despite the risks, an inner feeling says, "This is right." This certainty does not come with excessive excitement or anxiety. It is simple, stable, quiet. It does not try to convince your mind. It is simply there. This form of inner knowing does not tell you whether a situation is objectively good or bad. It tells you whether it is right for you, and that distinction is essential. What benefits one person can be destructive for another. Intuition does not judge by external standards. It alerts you when something pulls you out of alignment, even if it looks perfect on paper. When you listen to it, it often spares you long and painful detours. When you ignore it, it does not punish you. It simply waits for experience to teach you what you are not ready to hear. The second sign appears as a sudden inner impulse, a pull to act that does not feel like a whim, a need to act now, to call someone without a clear reason, to change direction, to say yes or no without being able to explain why. These impulses are often mistaken for passing desires or impulsive decisions, yet the difference is subtle but profound. An intuitive impulse is quick, but it is accompanied by a strange calm. It does not create inner chaos. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, but without agitation. Intuition does not promise ease. It guides you towards rightness, and rightness sometimes requires courage. When this impulse appears, it does not insist for long. If you ignore it, it fades, not out of anger, but out of respect. And often, weeks or months later, you realize that this quiet call was a door, an opportunity, an invisible support waiting for a single step from you. Intuition works in the present moment. It does not endlessly repeat the same message. The third sign is even more subtle because it appears when the mind is at rest, in dreams. From ancient times, dreams have been seen as bridges between the conscious and the unconscious, but some dreams stand apart. They are more vivid, more emotionally charged, more symbolic. They repeat themselves. They leave a trace upon waking. These dreams are not meant to be taken literally. They speak the language of images, sensations, and personal archetypes. They translate what your intuition could not fully express while you were awake. There is no universal dictionary to understand these messages. A symbol that means one thing for someone else may mean something entirely different for you. What matters is not the image itself, but the emotion it awakens. That lingering feeling after you wake. That sense that something wants to be seen, understood, or integrated. Intuition uses dreams because in that space, the ego grows quiet and defenses fall away. It can then speak more freely. These first three signs share something essential. They are quiet. They do not argue. They do not try to convince the mind. They simply invite you to slow down, to observe, to feel. Intuition does not appear in constant urgency. It shows itself in the spaces in between, in moments when you allow yourself not to control everything. The more space you give it, the clearer it becomes. And the more you learn to trust it, the more naturally it speaks, without effort. The fourth sign through which intuition makes itself known is the body. Before the mind understands, the body already knows. A sudden tightness in the chest, a knot in the stomach, and unexplained heaviness in the shoulders are not random reactions. The body is an extremely precise receiver of information. It responds to what has not yet been consciously articulated. When a situation, a person, or a decision pulls you out of alignment, the body signals it immediately. And when you are moving in the right direction, a sense of openness, lightness, or relaxation often appears without any obvious reason. We have been taught to ignore these physical signals, to rationalize them or suppress them. Yet the body does not lie. It translates. Learning to listen to your intuition requires rebuilding a relationship with the body, developing a finer attention to sensations without judging them or overanalyzing them. The more you cultivate this listening, the clearer the body's language becomes. This is not about living in fear of sensations, but about seeing them as indicators, quiet markers along your inner path. The fifth sign appears in the outer world through synchronicities, those striking coincidences that seem to respond exactly to what you are experiencing inside. You hold a question in your mind, and a sentence overheard by chance answers it. You're in doubt, and an unexpected meeting brings clarity. These events are not proof in a rational sense, but subtle confirmations. They often arise when you're aligned, when your inner intention is clear, even if your outer circumstances are not yet settled. When attention is given to them, without idolizing or forcing them, the more naturally they appear. They do not replace discernment, but they accompany inner movement. They are like silent nods, inviting you to continue, to trust the invisible thread connecting events. The sixth sign shows itself through emotions. Intuition sometimes uses intense emotional waves to capture your attention. A sudden deep joy can indicate that you are moving closer to something essential for you. A calm excitement without agitation can signal a direction that is right. On the other hand, unexplained sadness, diffuse anxiety, or persistent discomfort can act as warning signs, not to paralyze you, but to invite you to observe a situation, a relationship, or a pattern that needs to be adjusted. It is important not to confuse intuition with emotional overwhelm. Intuition does not seek to drown you. It uses emotion as a signal, not as a prison. Listening to these emotions with clarity allows you to understand what is happening beneath the surface without reacting excessively. They then become gateways to a deeper understanding of your needs, your boundaries, and your inner truth. The final sign may be the most discreet, yet also the most constant. It's that calm, persistent inner voice, a thought that returns, not obsessively, but gently, an idea that arises while you are focused on something else, a place, a conversation, or a change you feel called towards, even if the timing does not yet seem ideal. This voice never forces, it accompanies, it waits until you are ready to listen. The challenge is learning to distinguish it from mental noise, fear, or the desires of the ego. Fear is urgent, agitated, demanding. The ego compares, justifies, and seeks validation. Intuition is simple. It does not try to impress. It always guides you toward greater inner coherence, greater peace, even when the path it points to requires courage. By learning to recognize this voice, you develop a deep discernment that transforms your relationship with life. Listening to your intuition is not a dramatic act. It is a quiet practice, an inner availability. The more you slow down, observe, and allow yourself to feel without immediately analyzing, the clearer this guidance becomes. Intuition is not here to live your life for you, but to help you remain faithful to who you are, beyond fear, external expectations, and automatic patterns. And when you begin to trust it, even in small steps, something softens within you. You move less through struggle and more through alignment.